What up guys, your boy J.A.K. Dripmode and welcome back. Now before I get into this video, I want to say Merry Christmas and Happy New Year's. I can't believe we're at the end of 2021 guys, and man, I want to end this year with a bang, and that is with the part 2 video of my Bloodsport diorama. Now to complete the vision of this diorama, I had to actually create the figurines. Now for those that do know me, knows I've been trying to get better at it. I've been talking to a lot of my friends that are actually really good at customizing figurines, and I'm really okay at it. When it comes to actually completely modifying it, creating head sculpts, creating molds, shrinking molds, expanding molds, it's definitely a new realm for me, and I definitely want to just keep pushing that skill set to the next level, And if I find an opportunity that makes me uncomfortable, I'm gonna do it. So this video is gonna be focusing on Mr. Jean Claude Van Damme Frank Dukes and Mr. Bolo Yeung Chang Lee. You're gonna see in this video, you're gonna see some imperfections, you're gonna be seeing some errors that I'm creating, and I'm exposing all these things to show you guys that there's a lot behind these things, and it's okay to make mistakes, but you have to learn from them and you get better at that. It is definitely challenging and it definitely tests your patience, but with all that hard work, you're gonna get better and better at that craft. So that's what this video is gonna be about, creating these figurines. So let's get to it guys.
Alright, so here's the figure that I'm gonna utilize to make this custom figure. I think his structure is close to what I'm looking for. What I really like is I can see his feet. His thighs look good. He has some shorts. The gloves, I will have to remove them and give him actual hands and just swap the head. And hopefully it will be a good representation of Frank Dukes.
Alright, so here we got Van Damme. He's been primed. Looks pretty good actually. I'm actually pretty satisfied. The only part that I really gotta work on is the hands. The hands are actually, these are the ones that have gloves. He doesn't have gloves, so I'm still in the search on looking for the proper hands. But in the meantime, I'm just gonna use it for now. But yeah, the next step is we're gonna airbrush, and got some skin tones that I'm gonna experiment. So let's see. Alright guys, so here he is. He has I want to say like 5 coats. I gotta learn to kind of leave it alone, because like as I'm messing with it, I'm chipping off certain paints where the articulation rubs. Like right here in this shoulder, you can see the paint coming off right there. So I want to understand. I'm still a rookie in the realm of action figures. I could definitely repaint one and make it look dope. I'm loving it. I'm definitely loving it, and the head is what makes this whole figure, because without that head, it's just another body, right? But putting his head, it's like, wow, here's Frank Dukes. Alright, as you can see, he has a tan now. It's definitely got more color. So next I'm gonna go and paint his shorts black. Alright, so here's a cloth ribbon I got from Hobby Lobby. It's a yellow one. Gonna cut it in half because it's definitely too big, so I could turn it into his belt. Alright, so next up is gonna wash it again to make those muscles stand out. So I just mixed some of the skin tone color with brown to get this kind of like café con leche kind of color, and it's watered down, so I'm just gonna just go on these areas, but I'm gonna use a paper towel to take off the excessive paint, so then it ends up staying inside those shaded areas. It really helps define. As you can see right there, look at that. See how it's being defined by the wash? This is very cool. Very cool. Alright guys, so I'm almost done. I mean, there's still the details I want to work on, but I think with the skin I'm actually done. So I want to apply some pledge onto it. Now pledge, guys, is for the floor, but it's a floor gloss, right? It gives you a nice shine, and it actually stays permanent, and it looks wet all the time. So I like that effect. I like that effect. On the skin area only. See how like this over here is dull. I mean, no shine. And then here you got shine. So I'm only gonna put it on the skin areas. Even like if he's like sweaty, you know. So I'm here just doing some research. I found some really good reference of Bolo. I'm studying his anatomy, get an understanding of what I need to do, and try to get it as close as possible. So it's a really good base. Right now I'm currently trying to figure out what's up with the face, how to get to that, but I'll figure that towards the end. So got epoxy, and I'm just gonna work off of this. So we're gonna start out with a little bit. I always end up using more than I need. Gotta have a same amount of A and B. You put them together, and what it's doing is that it's activating it. So now you're on the clock, basically. I want to say more like an 8-hour window, but in those hours, that's when the material starts getting a lot more solid. Here's where I'm at. I'm just waiting for it to dry so I could keep on sanding it down, because it's still soft. So I just don't wanna let it cure a little bit, get a little stronger, and then I could start sanding down what I want. Definitely a little bit more wider, and I dropped his chest more. So this should be hopefully closer to Bolo Yeung's Sculpt. Now that he's painted, I'm gonna just kind of give him a wash with brown. This is gonna give him a nice tan. Alright guys, so off camera I started really getting into this. So I started working on his box, on his fighting trunks, right, using epoxy to give it that look, give it little slits on the side, and also started adding his bandages on his feet. Looking pretty cool. So yeah, so next I'm gonna start painting his pants, or his shorts I mean, red. Start giving it coats. So first one's gonna be light. Alright guys, next up we're gonna be dealing with Bolo Yeung's head sculpt. It finally arrived. It took a while, but finally it's here. So problem though, this guy is 1/6 scale. I need it to be at least 110 or 112 scale, and here you go. So it could be like a bobblehead. But I gotta make him smaller. So I've been going online and doing some homework. Mineral spirits. Mineral spirits is the key liquid to helping you either shrink or expand and grow any type of mold, actually. So normally when you mold, you know, you use something like this, silicone rubber, right? It has A and B compound. You mix it together and you can make a cast, you know, and I've done it before. Here's an example that I've done in the past. Here is a mold that I did of this skull. and then I was able to recast it. Okay, so this is really simple to use. You use mineral spirits and you mix it with that 1-to-1 ratio, A and B and mineral spirits, and that's to shrink it. Now to actually make it bigger, it's 1-to-1. Have this guy and then dunk this guy in a tank or whatever you want to call it, a cup of the mineral spirits sitting in there. So you do it after the fact. So that was a quick just lesson on how to make it grow and how to make it shrink from what I understand. Now I haven't done it yet, so I'm gonna try it now. And I'm not gonna do so much. As you can see, a little clay here. Try to keep him in the middle level as I put the mixture inside. And I actually measured it. I actually used water to even out the measurement. So from here to here is the total mixture of the mold, and then from here to here is the total amount of the mineral spirits. Okay. Put that to the side. And these 2 cups, I'm gonna fill them up to the line that I've created. Got both mixed. Now we gotta mix this really good. Okay. And next is the mineral spirits. I'm pouring the total amount of what this is. So I already measured that out this time, and so I'm gonna pour it in there. And now we're gonna mix this really well. Okay, you just gotta make sure you really mix it well. You get the bottom, the sides. Okay, and now the moment of truth. We're gonna Alright, and now I'm gonna wait for tomorrow so this could harden. Because it's more liquidy, it's gonna take a little bit longer. Alright, it's morning and it looks like it's ready now. Off the back, I'm noticing some bubbles, and that scares me because it can affect the way the mold will look like. But whatever, you know, I'm just learning, experimenting here. So let's see. So, and this time I started from the head and not from the bottom. So hopefully it creates a better mold of the head. So this part got stuck, so that's not good. But let's see. Let's test them. Let's do a cast of this guy. Did it really shrink? And it didn't. It did not shrink. I think what I did wrong is that I didn't give it a chance to shrink. Like the minute I took out the mold, I started filling it up, so you can see a big difference, right, in size. And all I had to do is just fill it in and leave it alone, and that came out. So that's amazing. I'm happy. Now, now I gotta cast or make a mold of this version with the mineral spirit. So this is gonna shrink double. So I'm hoping the next one will be the right size, and if not, then after that just do another one. But I got the science down, so I'm excited. I'm excited. This has already been, I want to say, 2 weeks that's passed by, and a lot of trial and error. So what you're seeing here is this is what I started off with. Then I created another one. I was like, alright, so it works. And then I started doing the shrinking. So here you see, this is where I got there's the cast, this is the one that I modified, and went to the next one. Then I created a cast of this one onto here, shrunk it, got to this. So this right here is this shrunken. Okay. And then
Did the same thing, repeated it over here, then repeated it over here, and this is what I got. So now this is 1/12. The 1/6 and the 1/12. Big difference. Now I'm gonna go into it now and start priming it and then exposing all the flaws because it's just gonna have bubbles. So I'm gonna use epoxy to fill in those imperfections and correct anything that looks like it needs correcting. Gotta be able to improvise. I mean, I even, with my mistakes, I was able to make more of different other casts. Here I did some of Rocky, here I did some of Kaneda, here I did one of Casey Jones, and then even some glasses. And then you start collecting an inventory of molds that you definitely will be able to either recreate for being creative or even start selling molds. Alright, so this is the head. Now, I'm sure there's a lot of imperfections, but right now I'm just drilling the hole and I'm trying to get a deep enough area to put the neck so that it sits well and doesn't look like I have a long neck. So I've been using my dribble. Here's my dribble. Alright, try to get one of these sanders. They're pretty cool. This will be perfect to just play around and shape it as you're going with it. So start drilling this deeper so that the neck can fit in there better. Okay, now that I primed it, you can look at all those mistakes. Those are all the bubbles. So a couple of things, you know, I am gonna cast another one, but this one I'm gonna kind of see if I could fix it. I'm gonna use epoxy with water to fill in all these holes, but this is at least workable. The one on the left, this is actually with a gray resin, and I want you to notice the dots. So the dots are really bubbles that were created, and what I did was I covered it with a thin layer of epoxy using some water and my fingers, and you can see that it's filling in a lot of the holes. So this helps me get a better, you know, it makes me fill in the scope better, and then once I prime it, it'll look more like this. So there's compressors that help you, but for now, this is an alternative for me as I'm learning, is to use epoxy or even clay to fill in those gaps. So next up is the airbrushing. Random tan. Random tan. That's the name of the color. Let's try it out. Did a couple of layers of his painting, came out pretty good. But I just sealed it right now because I am gonna go into it more. But I want to start putting now to get the bandana out of the way. So what you see here is a document that I made myself in Photoshop, and it's basically the headbands of not just Bolo Yeung's but also Jackson's. So I'm using sticker paper just to be safe, but I already pre-printed on regular paper just to get the right size. So basically the decal for the bandana will fit right there like that, perfect. So I printed a whole bunch of them just to be safe.
I'm gonna seal it just to keep it in there to matte. Wash polish. That looks so cool. Getting close to finishing him. One of the final touches I want to do is use my pledge. There he is, all shiny. Here you go, guys. Here is my custom figurines for my Bloodsport diorama, and we're featuring here Mr. Frank Dukes, Jean Claude Van Damme, and Chang-Li Bolo Yeung. Guys, you saw that video, you saw the journey I had to go through, and really everything wasn't that hard. It was just this head sculpt right here that really kicked my ass, and it was just understanding, you know, the science behind being able to, you know, make a mold and shrink that mold to get it to the point from going from 1/6 scale down to 1/12 scale in this case right here. Brand new to me, brand new way to kind of solve an issue when you can't find a sculpt where, you know, Jean Claude Van Damme wasn't hard to find. You know, that's why you saw in the video I really didn't focus on where did I get his head sculpt, because it was just on eBay and I got him. But Bolo Yeung, I was only able to find it in a 1/6 scale, and, you know, bought it, cast, you know, molded, cast it, and I just understood the science to get it down to the 1/12 scale here that I needed. This is a way to, you know, be able to dabble into another realm in this community with custom figurines, and hopefully it was educational for you as it has been for me. I want to keep on just perfecting this to get better and build figurines that we know we can't have today. You know, nobody's making these figures yet, but hopefully in the future maybe they will. But for now, like I always say, if you can't have it, make it. So here you go, guys. Here are my custom figurines. Also, you can see here, with my dial, I was able to remove the stage. That was the whole point of being able to make things modular, but just to focus on the figurines. And then I added the articulation icon figurine as a referee to kind of paint the picture of the actual battle in this scene here, the Kumite. Alright guys, well that's really about it. I hope you guys got something out of this video. Guys, I want to say thank you for all the support, all the love, all the likes, all the comments. Because without you guys, I would not be able to get this channel the way it is right now. So, mad love. Thank you all for everything. Hit that like button. Write a comment. And if you haven't yet, hit subscribe. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next year in 22. Peace.
I'm all the way